What's good, Diamond Gang? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be putting together my new impressions vanity. As you see, my vanity did come today. I had ordered this on January the 27th and it came today, which is February the 2nd, and it's here. And boy, it was a struggle getting it up the steps. So I'm guessing this one right here is the top, the tabletop, and this one over here has to be the drawers. So I'm about to go ahead and start opening up the top part first. But I'm going to show y'all step by step. I'm going to try my hardest to get everything in there. Once I start on one item, I'm going to show you how I did it. And then I'm going to let the camera play through and finish the rest. And then the next item, I'm going to show you how I did it, and so on and so on. So as y'all see, we're not working with a lot of room, a lot of space. So what we're going to do is move the stuff over here in this corner so we can have more space, because we limited. Okay, y'all, so in this part, I'm taking everything out the box and I'm placing them on the bed and on the couch and putting them in order. So they're all numbered either on the top part or the back part or on the sides. So I'm making sure I put all the numbers together so this will be an easy install. Alright, y'all, so the next piece in here, we still got more stuff in this box, and this is the first box. It's the long piece of glass that goes on top. So once you get all that fun, what I'm going to do is lift the box straight up, grab the other pieces, and I'm going to leave this glass inside this box until we need it. Done. Oh, this mug's still heavy. How is it still heavy? It's the glass. Dang. This glass is that heavy? Alright, you're gonna have to lift it. That glass, it's that glass. Dang. Okay, y'all, so this part I'm showing y'all the wood. I'm actually thinking that this wood goes onto the vanity, but it doesn't. This wood is placed in a box to keep the vanity protected, so don't get discouraged, because I did think that, but it's just to help the vanity for it not breaking or shattering in the box. Alright, so the only thing that's left inside the box is the look like the only thing that's left is the glass right here, and then right here in the front we have that. It's very messy, and then we have the instructions right there and some screws, and these was in the box. So I'm gonna make sure I double check the box real good and make sure we don't have any more missing screws. So that's everything out the box that's up there on the bed, that's over here on the couch, that's sitting right here in front. So now we're about to go ahead and start putting it together. A sheet here that shows you everything that you need. So we're going to check everything now and make sure we have everything before we start. Yeah, so the very first step, each board is numbered. Okay, so we're going to need number 3, number 1, number 2, and board number 11. Black one is board number 3. Screws in there. Alright, so we end up checking the box and we end up finding another box full of equipment and screws and stuff in there. So we're going to be using 4C, and 4C is going to be inserted into number 3. So we're about to do that part now. So on the board 3, we put the screw right at the beginning, but at the bottom. Then we skip the 2 holes. Then there's a bigger hole, and then we got 2 more screws, and that's when we put 4C's at the top and at the bottom. And then on the next part, we're gonna skip the first hole. We're gonna skip the second hole. We're gonna skip the third hole. And then we're gonna put 2 more 4C's here and here. We're going to skip the first hole. We're going to skip the second hole. We're going to skip the third hole. And then we're going to put 2 more 4C's here and here. The last one, we're going to put a 4C at the end at the bottom. At step 2 now. Step 2, you want boards number 1 and board number 2. You want to turn, this is board 1. Where's the one at? Here. And what you want to do is make sure the metal piece on number 1 is going towards you with the holes at the top. And then here's board 2. Right here. You want to make sure the metal piece is at the top and the holes are more towards you. So we're going to put 4C in the first hole here and 4C in the first hole here. I placed 4C here and I placed 4C here. And if you don't know what the 4C look like, they're going to come in this pack like here, and they're going to look like this. They the small Philip ones with the, it's more thicker, and they silver. Alright, we're on to the next step, which is also in step 1. I said we was in step 2. We're not. We still in step 1. And we're going to go ahead and grab number 11 board. And we're going to add 6 4C's to the number 11 board. So basically we're going to add 2 to each board because there's 3 pieces. We're going to take all 3 of the 11 pieces. Those are the ones with the mirror looks on the front. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn it this way, where the lines here is up and the holes is at the top towards you. We're going to put 2 4C's in the bottom hole on each side. And we're going to do that with all 3 pieces. For step 2, we're going to need 8C. 8C is the glue. We're also going to need 6 of 3C's. The 3C's, where they at? Or these here. The turn, I don't know what the correct name for these. Little silver round turn dowels. I'm just call them dowels, but I know they're not dowels. And then we're going to need 6 of those. And then we're going to need 6 of the 6C screws. 6C screws are the silver ones that's in the back with the point that has the Philip marking at the top. We're going to also need 3 of the door knobs, the drawer knobs. 3 of the 13C's, which are the ones that comes with the drawer knobs with the soft tip. It's not a pointed tip. And then we're going to need 3 of those clear plastic washers. The first step we're going to do is get boards 12, 13, and 14, 14 is going to be up in front. Make sure the line is pointing downwards and the hose is downwards. On the other side is pure black, so you know you're not using that side. So we're going to sit that in front. Number 12 is going to be on the left hand side with the lines pointing downwards. If you flip it over, the silver part should be down. And the same thing as number 13. The silver part should be down. The line on the other side should be downwards. First thing we're going to use is 8C, which is the glue. The glue is going to go inside the very last hole at the bottom. Once you put glue in there, that's when you'll take it and put 14 inside 12. Like that. You can hold it there for a little bit and make sure it's nice and dry. Once you're done with that, you're going to also do that with 13. You're going to put glue at the bottom, stick it in. Once that part is done, then we're going to go ahead and grab a nail. We'll screw 6C. 6C nail is going to go on the opposite side, and which is going to go at the top here, and it's going to screw into 14. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side to board 12. Screw 6C is going to get at the top and screw on the other side. So I'm about to do that part now, and then I'll be back with the next step. This part in step 2 is putting together the drawer here. I did one first to make sure I got it down packed and know how to do it before I tell you how to do this part. So let's get into it. Alright y'all, so now we have board 15, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the next step. 15 will be shown in the back, as you see here. What you want to do is you want to line it up with the edges that we have on the inside in here. So I'm going to sit this straight up like this. Then I'm going to slide it down. I'm gonna make sure that it's in each slot. Alright, now that we have 15 in, our next step is we're gonna go ahead and grab board 16. 16 are those all wood looking ones with the two dowels, well, one dowel on one end and there's one dowel on the other end. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and install the number 16 in the back of the drawer, and it goes here in this hole. And once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab board 11. Those are the ones that we did earlier. And before I start putting in board 11, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some glue here, which is 8C. I'm gonna add some glue on each dial. Then I'm gonna go ahead and apply the board in. Line up all the holes. And line up the hole on 16 in the back. Once everything is lined up, that's when you take your washer 3C. On the washer, it has like a little arrow on there. That arrow needs to be pointed straight up once you insert it. Ooh, I'm supposed to put this in first. Alright, see, I made a mistake. You put your dowels in before you put the board in. So if you did that, my bad. I forgot all about putting the washers in before you put in the dowel. Okay. In. Then we can replace everything and put it back and line it back. Once you get it in, you go ahead and turn the dowel to the right to lock it in place. And do the same thing to the other side. Once you're done with that part, then we're going to go ahead and start doing the knot part. We're going to be using 15C, which is the little clear washer here. And then we're going to be using 13C. That's the Phillips screw with the flat head. The flat bottom is not sharp. And then we're going to also be using the knobs that comes with it. So the first thing what we do is we go ahead and use the Phillips screw with the flat head. We're going to put it here in the middle of the drawer from the back. Once you do that, that's when you go ahead and get the clear washer. We're going to put it in the front. Then we're going to go ahead and get the screw and just screw it on the drawer. Once that is done, we're going to take it, we're going to take a Phillips screwdriver, put it in the end hole in the back, and then we're going to hold on to the knob and just screw it a little bit, not too tight because you don't want to crack the drawer. Alright, so now we are in step 3. In step 3, we're going to be working with 9, 2 9s, a 10, and 2 6s. The first 9, well, both 9s look alike. It has 2 holes on each side. You want to make sure there's nothing else on each side, so you want to make sure that the holes are faced up and flat. Then we're going to put a 6 in the middle, and how you know you got it on the right side, there should be a hole at the end here, and that part should be facing you. And then the dowels that's sitting on top should be sitting straight up. So that's going to go in the middle, so we're going to lean that there. Then we have our 10. Our 10 also have 2 openings here and here. That is faced down in the middle. Then we're going to put another number 6, and you want to make sure the hole in front of it is facing you and the dowels are pointing straight up. And then at the end we have another number 9, and we want to make sure all of the holes are facing upwards, not down. So the first step we're going to be doing is using 2C, and this is 2C here. 2C is going to go in number 6, the bigger hole, and it should come out on the other side. Then we're going to be using one of the dowels, which is 9C, which is the longer ones. We're going to do the same thing to that, and we're going to put it in to the other side, and it should come out on the other side. I'm going to make sure it's even. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and take 8C. 8C, we're going to be putting glue on the first hole on 9. The very first hole. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put some of this glue on this dowel here. Then I'll go ahead and insert it here. But before we put this in, I always do this. We gotta put 1C, which is the ones that look rainbowy, and we're gonna put those in the first hole here on 9C. We're gonna put 2 of them in 10 here and here, and we're gonna put 1 in 9 only at the end. So I'm about to go ahead and do all that now, and then I'll be back. This part, y'all, we're going to be doing the attachment that we just did up here. We're going to be attaching board 7 here. And how you know which way to go on there, the front part that's facing you is going to have 5 holes in the front. The other side only has 2 holes, which is going to be connected here and connected here. So the one with the 5 holes in the front should be facing you, and the holes that's sitting on top should be facing you. And we're going to be using 7C screws for that, and we're going to be using 2 of them. Alright guys, so we're going to take number 2 and number 1. I already did number 1, and then number 2 is the same way. We're going to take the dowel, put it in here, and then we're going to line it up. Once it's in there, we get our flat head, and then we're going to turn to the right. When that's tightened, we're going to come down here to number 7 and to number 8. We're going to line up these holes as well. And then we're off. And we're off to the next step. Alright y'all, in this piece, the oval part right so
we
here
just put number
is going
8
to be
on,
facing
which is
here.
right
We're
here.
going to face
This
this
long
straight
black
down
piece.
on top,
And
and we're going to screw it in with the last set of screws.
We use the washers on each end, and the washers here.
The last step, we're going to flip
1,
over the table top and add the
2,
glass.
and 3 there. And then you take it, and we use the screws that we had left, and that's when you screw it in and tighten it up. The next part, we're going to be doing the long part, the long piece. That's the part that's going to go on the bottom of the desk. Before I start that piece, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down, and then we'll be back.
So we're going to add these little clear jelly things that came with it, which like keeps the glass in place so it doesn't move, to the vanity. One part is going to go here at the front, then one part is going to go here in the middle, then the other part is going to go here towards the back, and then here towards the back, and then the front here, and then here, and also one in the back. So each one you put one of these, you want to scroll up and place another one towards the middle on each section. See, I already have everything set up. It is up. I'm not going to show the whole entire vanity because I will be doing a vanity reveal here soon. But it is set up and ready to go. And it's not as hard as you think. As long as you have the directions in front of you and you understand each part as far as clockwise and the screws and how to put the screws in and how to tighten, you good to go. But that's pretty much it of putting up the tabletop of the vanity. And I hope you guys understand it and enjoyed this. Hopefully it was helpful for you. If it wasn't, leave any questions you have down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.